Okay, so that's good. So I have give you one exercise.
Yeah. It's just we have to reverse the range. Means if we want to print it from 19 to 1, then we have to start range from 20 to
Okay,
10. And again, one more argument we want to pass, that comma minus 1. That means it minus 1, one value from 20 to 11, not 10.
okay. Now if I run this, okay, it is printing reverse. Suppose I want to print from you can say 100 to 0, but I want this to be printed as a 100, 95, then a 90, 85.
Means
What
gap
can I
of
do?
5, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Just set 100, replace 20 by 100 and 10 by 0, and
Okay,
decrement by 5, as we are decrementing by 1. So here we can, as it's the decrement argument or increment argument, na third argument is,
okay.
first is starting limit, second is ending limit, and next is increment, or as
Suppose,
like the our
yeah, you're
Java.
saying it correct.
Yeah.
You're saying it correct. It will give me this. Mm, okay. Now, if I want to print negative values, can I get negative values as well? Suppose if I want to print now 0 to 100, if I say -1 to -100, now want to print -1, then you can say -5, or you can say 0, -5, -10, -15. So how can I do that?
And then 0 minus 5. And then we have
Yeah,
to start from 0.
okay,
Starting range is 0. I'm not
okay.
sure. I'm just, and ending range is, suppose, again minus 20.
Minus,
Mm,
suppose -20, or you can say minus 90. Okay,
okay.
then
I
it will,
think it should work.
it should work. Okay, let's see. Uh,
Okay. Yeah, it's work.
yeah, it is working. So don't worry. Suppose if I take do it here 5, it will work now.
No, it will not.
Okay, yes, it will not work. Okay, so if I go to back, so I'm going for 0 to -90. Now, if I set it here -90 to 0, is it, you can say 0. Is it possible?
Then we need plus 5 there, not minus 5.
Okay.
Then it's possible.
Okay. Now, if I run, okay. So your concepts are clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So this will be challenging for me. Okay. So now moving forward towards more Python basics, like how to create a function, in what ways uh, I can. Uh, Now, we have studied about that date time study. This is clear to you, na?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So just you have to be very careful when you're using this sign B, small b, small y, or capital Y. Otherwise, it is same. Okay. Now we can create a function. Fine. I'm going to take example of addition of two numbers. First of all, I will can say in Python file. I will say function study. Okay. Now, suppose I will just create a simple function like you can say def. Can I name the function as sum?
I think yes, because it's not any keyword. Okay.
Okay, so let's name our function as sum, and num2 equal to 60 and result equal to num1 plus num2, and I will print my result. Okay, now I will call my function like sum. Okay, now if I run my function, okay,
Colon.
yeah,
Colon is missing.
okay. Now if I run my function again, okay, it will give me answer. But here you see it is giving me warning. Um,
Shadow built-in is
built-in name sum. Rename the element.
okay.
Okay,
There is some building function. Okay.
okay. So never give your function name as you can say sum, difference. Never, just apply some digit. This time it works properly, but chances are there, 50% chances are there that it will give you problem in coming time. So never name your function as just like keywords sum, difference, minus. Just apply some digit over there, like someone, something like this. Okay. Otherwise, you will get an error in some time or maybe in any time.
Okay.
Okay. Now I can do that in number of ways. Like this function itself, I can pass on the numbers which I want to add. Like this, let's say this is my number one. Now suppose if I write it like output um, of addition is okay. Now uh, output of addition is result. Okay. Now will it give me the same answer as this one?
No, it will give an error because we are concatenating the string and int values. Here,
Okay.
result is integer.
Yeah. So for this, what can I do is okay. Now if I run this,
We have to call someone,
we have to
call that function. We just call by some na last. Now we change the function name.
okay, okay. Okay. Now if I run my now it is giving me perfect answer. Okay. Now what happened is you can say now we'll make another function and I will say uh, name it as sum2 and pass my variables num1 then num2 and again the result is num1 plus num2, and I will say print, and I will say output of addition is a plus str result. Mm, and here I can say sum to. Now I have to pass the values. Okay. Now here I will pass, like you can say 40, comma 30. Okay. So if I say, if I run my code, now this is giving me the correct answer, but I don't know that what is the input I'm giving in this print statement. Now, what can I do for that is the can say addition of sum 1 and addition of sum 2. So this is okay. Now it will give me the same. Just I know that this is sum 1 function and this is sum 2. Okay. Now I will make one more function by taking the user input. I can also take the user input in Python. So over here, I will just say and name it as my function as sum3, and here I'm not passing the values. Now num1 equal to, now you know how to take user input.
By that input function.
Yeah, input, and I will say enter num1, and for num2 I will again say enter num2 and say result equal to num1 plus num2.
We need to
And
convert this into integer, right? Because as the input function by default takes string.
yes, you are right. You're absolutely right. It will give me an error. Okay. So I have to change this from int and again int. Okay. Now output of addition of sum3 is this. Now if I run this, now it is not asking me for input.
Uh, we can't call sum3 function.
Okay. My mistake. Just now if I run my, okay, now enter num1, maybe we entered 60. Now enter num2 90. Okay. Now this way we can call from our input method. Now, can say okay, okay. So now you have again, okay, we have seen the input type. Okay. Now, suppose if I don't want to print this now, right now I'm printing it. Okay, what can I do is I can say return result. Okay, and again, if I execute my code, again it will say I can say 70, then 80. Now it is not giving me anything. Okay.
We need to use print statement while calling that function.
Yes, right. Now if I execute my code, number 190, then 80, okay, it will give me the result. Okay, so this is how we call our function, or we can give our print statement to our result, to our function, so that it can give us the result. So these are the ways by which I can create a function and I can pass on different parameters. So over here, just imagine that you have to use this function in some another module. Like for example, if I say here, if you want to use this function in another module, okay, so how can I do that? I can say uh, suppose I want these functions to be used. Now here, what can I do? I can say from local global example, I will say import local function. Okay, and I can use local function here. Okay, now you know that how can I import the another function? You know this.
That plus function.
Yeah, this is the function in another file. I'm calling it in another file. You know how to call this function?
No.
Okay. So this way you can call the functions of another file to your file which you want. Now,
So we can directly call or just as like the same simple function, right?
uh,
Only by function name. By calling
yeah,
to call the function, we can directly call by function name in another module also, or
yeah, by you're
just you have to add
importing,
that import statement. Right?
yeah. Now from now here I'm including my file name, which is local global example, and import the function name. Now suppose there is one more function over here. Okay. Now if I want to import this function as well, so what can I do?
We can write one more import statement like from local global example import local function.
Okay, suppose I will again write import, you
The
can
plus
say
function.
plus function. Okay, now here I can write plus function. Okay, regarding then this, whenever I create this thing, regarding you can say it will take more memory. So For this, we can do one thing. Just delete this and put comma over here and do it like
Okay.
this. Okay.
We can import n number of functions, right?
Yeah, you can input n number of functions here by just putting the comma over here. And so this is a very good interview question that how I can use one function in one file in another file. So by you can say by using the word from that file and import that function. Now interview can ask you that if I want to include another function, then you have to suppose there are 100 functions I want to import. So I will have to print, I have to write this line in every line. So it will become hectic. So this is the good way just by giving the comma and the function name.
Mm.
Okay, so this is a very important and good interview question that interview can ask you that you will write another line for this another function, and most of the people say yes, but the answer is you have to just put comma and plus function name or any function name which you want to assess. Okay, so this from and you can say import keywords are very useful when we are working with Selenium. There are number of modules which we will be using to import the current needed part. Suppose now there are you can see there are some 9 to 10 files are there. In your file, when you make the framework, there are number of files are there. Okay, so you need to learn from where and import keywords. Okay, so this was all about the creation of function, calling a function in different ways and using the from and import keyword. Okay, now you can go for you can from file name. I can go for any file name and then their function. Suppose if I say we have function study, let's say from function study import, I can import any function. Suppose I import some three.
Is there is any shortcut that if we want to import all the functions from that module, there is any shortcut
Mm,
that access asterisk star or something?
as such, I know I don't go into deep, but in my opinion, there is no such word. But I'm not sure. But I think so. There is no such word because I'm not
Means
sure
in
about
Java
this.
we can import a import star from such
Yeah, yeah,
library.
yeah, yeah.
As
In
like, is it in Python or not?
just we will you can say import star. Okay. Now suppose if I the function sum allow you can. Okay. But in my opinion, we don't use this star.
Okay.
Why? You can use it, you can import all the functions, but when you suppose when you load your project, it will load all the functions. So if you need only one function out of 10, then it is not good. If you need all the 10 functions, then it is good one. Okay. So,
Okay.
but we will use, in my opinion, I have never used this star because sometimes what happens, I need only 2 to 3 functions from my files. So every time in my file, I will just import the function. Because if I import a star, whenever this page loads, it will load all the 10 functions of that page, or you can say 100 functions of that page unnecessarily. I want only 2 functions, maybe 5 functions, maybe 10 functions out of 100, but it will load all the functions.
Okay. That
Okay,
means it's
that's
not
why.
preferable.
Yeah, it's not preferable. Not preferable. So Now you know the keyword uh, from and import.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, uh, now next you can say we are starting with our uh, data structures that are supported in Python. Okay. Now, first of all, I will just make a new Python package and name it as data structures study. And in that data structure, I will first name my Python file as uh, list study. My first data structure is list. Okay, you can see over here that I will write print. My first data structure is list. Okay, list is such a data structure which is very easy to use to declare, and it has number of uses. Instead of directly jumping to its syntax and all, let's just first understand the nature that what actually list is. So first of all, list does not restrict you from storing the data types. You can store any data type, like you can store int, you can store string, you can dot float or anything. Okay. This means that list is a data structure which is able to store heterogeneous data. Okay. Now, what I mean by heterogeneous that it will support all data. Okay. Then comes the next feature of the list that is uh, if I ask you, you know about the list.
Yeah, a
Uh,
bit.
okay. So,
थोड़ा
if I ask,
मतलब बहुत दिन हो गए तो
okay,
पूरा
okay, no
याद नहीं है,
worries.
but I know a
Just,
bit.
yeah, just it's like can say uh, questions when you when somebody asks you the question that you don't know, then definitely you remember that question.
Yeah.
Okay. So, uh, what are the features of the list that you can say when I say dynamically growing data?
We don't want to predefine uh, the size of a list while declaring it.
Yeah, absolutely right. Means this data structure is not bound to any boundaries. We don't have to give any size before no size is required. Okay, okay. I will say list no size is required. Okay. Now, because whenever you will going to add new items in the data size, the list size is going to be automatically increased. And if you're deleting some element from the list, the size of list is going to be decreased automatically. That's the feature of having a dynamic data structure in any of the language. Dynamic word is itself a very good item. Now, these two natures are very comfortable to work with. Now, let's just talk about the syntax that how actually the syntax of this list data structure is going to be, how it is declared. Okay, so uh, 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 are you asking something?
No, no.
So now, how to declare an list? I will list is declared in the square brackets. So I will name my list as list1 equal to, and in square brackets I can give 1, comma, you can say bigger number 678. Then you can say 6.7. Then you can say uh, grapes. Okay. Now, as I said before, that it can be, it can store any type of data. Okay, so I flow integer, then you can say float number, large number, then float number, decimal number, or string. Okay, so if I want to print, I will just say print list one. So if I run my code, now here it is printing. Now again, I can see the type of this list by giving the inbuilt command type and say list one. Now if I execute my code, now you see the class list. Okay. Now, as I said earlier, it is dynamically increasing or it is dynamically decreasing. So it is a dynamic data type. So it's possible that it is increasing by time or decreasing by time. So I should be able to get to know that how many numbers of elements are there in the list. For that, I can, how to get the number of elements.
I think len function, len.
Yes, absolutely right. Len. Okay. Now, if I execute my code again, now it says 4. Okay. Now, you must be wondering that I'm saying that it is dynamically growing data structures. So how I can add new data, how new data are going to be added in the list. Again, now for this, we will have inbuilt function. Do you know that function?
Append function.
Yeah, again, you are right. Dot append and can say I will type mango. Okay. And again, I will say so when I run this, now elements is 5 and one more element is there, which is mango. Okay. So can I add uh, a list inside a list?
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's good. List one dot append, and I can say just I will copy the same list as this one, as paste it over here. Okay, and again I will say and now here we don't need this. Okay, then again if we run this, now there is, you can say, one more element, but you see that if I counted the number of elements, now it is 6, but there are number of elements inside the list. So it won't take the inside elements as the number of elements. It will take this list as one element only. Okay, so this is about adding the elements. So you can also delete some elements from your list. Now for this, first we have to get the knowledge that element which are inside. Now, if I say indexing, the indexing starts from which number?
0.
Okay, it's okay. That's again correct. Now I can suppose if I want to print list one, then 4. Okay. Print list 1 4. Then it will give me mango or grapes.
Mango.
Okay. It will give me mango. Now I want to, you can say, print, you can say, the last one, the uh, last element. So, but I don't want it like 0 1 2 3 4 5. I don't want to get as, say, print list 5. I don't want to give it this. So what can I do?
Means, sorry, I can't understand.
Now you see that it is in the 5. When I say 5, now it will print,
The whole list. That.
yeah, whole list. Suppose I don't want to give 5. There is another way of printing the list as well. The last element. Do you know that?
By size of the list.
No. Suppose if I want to print the second last element.
No, I don't know this function.
If no, you will say just like,
Okay, yeah, right, minus.
okay, if I run this, then it will give me the last element. Okay. Suppose if you are saying you can say uh, you're saying the length. This one is you're saying, na?
Yes. But we
So,
have to put length minus 1. Then it will print the last element of the list.
-1. Okay. So if I run this, again it will print the same. But this there is a, you can say, this is the question which are asked by some, that if I want to print the last element, will can say negative indexing start from the last element at -1 here, -1 for this element, -2 for this element, -3 for this element, -4 for this element, and -5 for this element.
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't start with 0 when you're going from right to left. Okay. So here, if I say, now, if I want to delete the element in the list, I can just like do as del, and suppose I want to delete like 6 7 8. I will say list 1, then 1. Okay. Again I will say print. Now if I run this,
We delete 6, 7, 8. 678.
yeah, now 6 7 8 is no more in the list, and the number of elements become 5. Now suppose, now if I want to change this element, can I modify it?
Yeah, you can modify it. I think there is some function to modify.
uh, it's just this function. Suppose if I want to, after, now I will just suppose, now there is a 6 7 8 there. Now I want to change mango to capital M. Now 1 0 1 2 3 4. I can 4 equal to mango. And again, I will in if I run this, now you see
Yeah.
mango with
It's
capital
replaced.
M is there. It has, you can change to it as thing as you want, like grapes you want, anything. So in the end, we conclude that list is, can say,
Mutable. Right. Okay, so
uh, list is, can say, list is able to add, can delete and modify. Okay. Now there comes one more. So this is a list at a type in Python. The same way I have another, and you can a type of data structure which is kind of similar to list, and the name of that data structure is tuple. You know about tuple?
yeah, a bit.
Okay. Tuple are kind of same as the list. They are also uh, they are also heterogeneous, and you can delete that tuple as well. Just there are some major differences. The first major difference is that list is declared in square brackets and tuples are declared in circular bracket. Again, I am going to create a new file in my data structure study, and I will say Python file and say tuple study. Okay. Now I can just declare tuple one equal to, say, this parenthesis, and I will say just I will copy the same and paste it over here. Now in I will say print, I will just paste it my. Okay. Now if I run this, now you see it is the of
Tuple.
class type tuple. Okay. Now I can add as much amount of data of elements as I want, which is tuple one plus, can say, uh, any digit 5, or you can say uh, orange. Okay, and you can say 8.9. Okay, and I will say print tuple. Okay, now when I run this code,
Should give an
now
error.
yeah, it will give an error. Why?
Tuples are immutable, right? We can't add, delete. Once they are declared, they are fixed.
Yes, you cannot add, like if I want to add, there is no specific function is provided to add elements.
If we want
Okay.
to add, we need to create new tuple. Right?
Yeah. Now, suppose I will just, if I want to modify tuple, I can say 1 and my 0, 1, 2, 3, and I'm I want to change it into the, can say, grapes with capital G. So now if I print here, again it will give me that object does not support item assignment. Okay, why is it showing so? Because tuples are not going to allow you to modify the existing element. The major difference, I told you, this is the one of the major difference. So modification is not allowed. Okay. Okay, you cannot modify, but the thing is, just wait a minute. Mhm. Okay, I am doing it wrong. This is nothing. Okay, now if I run, now you see it adds.
That's
Okay. Now, if I want to modify, then it won't allow me. It, if you want to add elements in tuples, there is no specific conditions that is provided by Python. You can add as many as you want. Okay, it will be 3, it will be 5, it will be 6, it will be 7, it will be 9. It will be any number, but you can't modify it.
right.
Okay, so you have to be very careful. So modification is not allowed. If you want, you can add new element, but the existing element you cannot modify. This is the rule in tuple. Okay, suppose now this I know that I can't do. Can I delete if I deleting one element? Can I delete one element from tuple?
No.
Suppose if I write like del and tuple one, and I say give the second index, then I will say print. Now second index 0, 1, 2, I want to delete 6.7.
6.7.
Okay, now here if I run, does not support item deletion as well. Okay, but you can delete the whole tuple.
Okay.
You can delete the whole tuple just like delete and tuple one. And after that, if you print the tuple one, then it should give an error because I have already deleted the tuple one. So first of all, I will just okay. Now again, if I run my code, it will give on line number 15. Okay, that line 15, that name tuple one is
Fine.
not defined. Okay, so it is deleting my whole tuple. Okay, so this is a major difference between list and a tuple, that uh, here you can no size is required. It's same as that you can store int, integer, float, anything inside it. But the major difference is that you uh, you can't modify it and delete one, delete one, or you can say particular element. Okay, so this is the major difference between the list and tuple. And list is can say uh, declared by square brackets, and this is declared by parentheses, or you can say round brackets.
Brackets.
So you have to be very careful in declaration of tuple and list, because there is only one difference when we are declaring that it starts with round brackets and this starts with square brackets. Okay, now this was the second data structure that Python supports. Moving for the, I have the third data structure, which is different from list and tuple. Now list and tuple are likewise, but the third one that I'm going to discuss is dictionary. Now dictionary is different from the above data structures. You can say dictionary. Okay. Now say dictionary different verb data structures. Why? Because over here in the list and tuple, what we are doing is we are just declaring the list and we are assigning some data inside, and we are transversing them by the use of the indexing. But in the dictionary, what happened? There is something known as, you can say, key value. This dictionary is consisted of key and a value. Okay. Now for this, I will again make a new in file in my, can say, package, and name it as uh, dictionary study. Okay. Now I can declare my dictionary as D1. Okay. And I can say it is declared in the curly brackets, which is fruit, and you can say apple. Now again, I will go for print D1, then print length D1, and again print type, and I will say D1. Okay, so this way you have declared your dictionary, and if I say no, you say fruit apple and length is 1 and class is dictionary. Now suppose this is a pair, key value pair. Now if I want to add one more key value pair to this, how can I add?
Mm.
You know,
By add or append function.
no, there's no add, no, there's no append function in this. So I can write like this. I say vegetables and I say equal to uh, tomato. Now I will again say print D1. So you see that it added the second key value pair, but inside the curly brackets with, can say, between the comma between the two, and now the length becomes 2 because this key value is taken as 1 and this another key value is taken as another key value pair. So this way you can add key value pair at any time, and it is totally up to your wish that how many you want to add. Suppose if I say I will say that D1, I'm adding the name. Suppose this is the same, which I have the key. I have the key here, fruit. Again, I'm adding the fruit equal to, and say mango. So here, and Now, what will happen? You see
I think
that
it will replace the apple by mango.
yes, it will
Yeah.
replace apple by mango. So what happens that data will be overwritten. Key, this is key and this is value. Okay. Now, if I you can say giving the same key, then it will replace the value of that key with the new one, with a new value. So in dictionary, duplicate values are not allowed. The original will be gone off and will be overlapped or overwritten with the new ones. Okay. So here I can write like this, can say if suppose d1 dot get say fruits a equal to none, then d1 fruits equal to grapes. Now if I again print it over here and run my code, now you see it will add one more. Now if I say this,
Fruits.
okay, now grapes will be there or not
No,
in fruit.
because that if condition is not satisfied.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's not
yeah, it will not be
completed.
there. Okay, because it will check that if it fruit is there, then it will not go into this. Okay, so this way you can go with your if statement. And uh, suppose if I want to delete some key, okay, so can I go with, you can say del d1 and give the name of my key fruit. Okay. Again, I will print this. Now, if I run my code, now you see it will delete the key where fruit is there. Okay. So this way I can delete one element key value pair element from my, can say dictionary. Now in the last there is one more can say data structure which is declared in the curly brackets and which is known as set. Okay, now for this I can again new Python file and name my Python file as set ready. Okay. Now I can declare set one equal to, can say in curly brackets, can say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma again 1, then say 50, or you can 5.5 comma 99 99 comma 100 comma apple, then mango, then mango. Okay. Now, okay. Now this is how set is declared. Now again, I will say and replace t1 by set1, set1, and set1. And if I run my code, now you see that now you see it is printing one as there are one here, one here. Now yeah, 2 is there, 99 is 2, but it prints only 99 at 1. And you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have given 11 elements, but it is saying that length of set 1 is 9.
Duplicates are not allowed in a set.
Yes. It is printing the unique values. The repeating ones are not allowed in set. Okay. So this is the major difference between, can say between these, that set will not allow duplicate values. Now suppose here, if I give again and say 1, okay. Now
List
what?
will allow the duplicate.
Yes, it will allow. Okay, so major difference between set and list is that list will allow duplicate values, but set will not allow the duplicate values. It will only allow the unique values and it will count only the unique values. So here, say only unique values. Okay, you
Yes.
can add you can add a element to your set by and say set one dot add, and I can say yellow, and we'll say and if I run this code now yellow is there. Okay. But if I want to add one more yellow, or you can say one more 99, and run my code, now you see it will not add 99. Okay, and you can see whenever I print the, or you can say print the statement, for sometimes yellow is here, sometimes yellow is here, sometimes yellow is here, so it is unordered. And say now yellow is in the last. Okay, so it is unordered, list is unordered. Sorry, set is
Set
unordered.
is another.
Set is unordered. Okay, so this is all by, you can say, by data. We have studied all the data structures which are there in the Python. Okay, and so we will meet tomorrow and do some exercises. Okay, now
Yes.
if you have any questions, you can ask me now, or you can watch the recording and then ask me.
Yes. I will
Okay,
ask if tomorrow if any question is there.
okay.